Hello and welcome to Darkness Descending Presents Guess That Build. I'm going to be making a weekly video, basically on just how to properly scout, or how to properly utilize scouting, especially early in the game where it's so very important. I think that this is worth going over, which is to scout out the opponent's build and see what you can glean from what they have done in that very early game to allow you to figure out hopefully what your response should be. So in this particular game I went with a 9 probe to pylon and then used that 9th probe that created the pylon to actually scout. Typically I'll go to one of the closer mineral nodes to scout first, and then whatever is the next closest starting point rather, from there. In this case I went to the right side, and now I'm going to be going towards the top. Terran is an interesting race because unlike Protoss and Zerg, where it is imperative that you scout early, because if Zerg goes to 6 pools, Zerglings rush. If you don't know about it, then the game's already over before you can react. Similarly, Protoss, if they're going for some sort of crazy rush, if you don't scout and know about it, you will not have time to react. But Terran don't have anything like that, but what they do have is a very strong mid-game, relatively early and mid-game, with those bio balls, so it's something to be very aware of as a Protoss player. So all we're going to get out of this is that we have a completed refinery, a completed barracks, and a supply depot. So we're going to pause that right there, and here's where you should take a moment to think, okay, what is my guess going to be as to what this Terran is trying to do? It's Lost Temple. It's a relatively larger map, so that quick Banshee attack between adjacent nodes is not applicable because we are at cross positions. If he was to make a Banshee, it would have a long run to get all the way down to me. So although Banshees aren't ruled out, they certainly could come into play. I'm not thinking that that would be his primary goal. So for me, the most important thing to note is that he does have the refinery. He only has one refinery, as you would expect at this point in the game, but the important thing to note is that he does have that refinery, so he's either going to be going for your Marine Marauder bio ball, or he's going to be tacking up of some sort, which sounds like it doesn't really help us all that much. That sounds like a lot of what Terran does, but against Protoss, one of the most horrible things they can do to you is just a pure Marine bio ball, very, very, very early. And the thing is when you see that gas, that kind of excludes that vein of thought, because that 75 minerals that could have gone to gas could have gone to making an extra barracks. And even if they were going to not, you're going to wait to make those extra barracks till they chased out your probe, they typically will not make the refinery beforehand. So time to guess. At this point, your primary choices in this case are either Marine Marauder bio ball, or maybe a Banshee, or even any other tech, your Thors or your tanks. So it's pretty wide open, so give your best shot, and here we go. I'm going to actually speed up the game. I'm not going to actually give you my guess because I played the game, so I know what happens. So far pretty standard. I get my Zealot out. We chased out the SCV. The SCV is making use of the towers. I plopped down a pylon right near his entrance. I also popped down a pylon adjacent to his entrance, but in a place where he would be highly unlikely to run into by mistake. So this is what gives me 2 places that to reinforce. 1, obviously very close. 2, farther, but only if obviously this gets broken, but I still want to continue to push. Alright, so I have my warp gate. We saw a Marine come out to kind of check out the front door, which is actually an extraordinarily good play by him. If he had come out with all of his forces initially, I would have been able to force field off his ramp and possibly kill all or at least most of his forces without anywhere for him to run. So the loss of one Marine was a great idea. So here we go. At this point, I'm thinking that either one, he's gone Banshee or some other tech and has very little units and I need to push through now, or he's going to have some sort of serious army which I'm really just going to poke, say hello, and get out of there with. Marine Marauder Bile Ball it is. So thanks for playing the game. If you'd like to, or we'll go through the rest of the game at relatively fast mode just so you can see it. But that was the whole point of this is not particular strategies, but the point is to identify other people's builds so that you know what they're gonna go for, and you can make some sort of appropriate response to it. So thanks for watching, and as always, if you enjoy these movies, please subscribe and rate.
You must construct additional pylons.